So I quit my job as a firefighter and left the UK at just 23 years of age. Now, a lot of people and a lot of people did call me crazy. You might be watching this video, you might have clicked on this video, and you're probably interested into why I left the UK at such a young age, why I left such a good job at such a young age as well, because that's another very important factor. And I'm going to explain it all in this video. I'm going to talk about it in this video. I'm going to give you guys an insight into what was going through my mind, and also the kind of risks that I'd taken, which not a lot of people think about, or not a lot of people kind of dive deeper into it. On surface, when you just see it, because it's not your life, because I know you guys didn't leave the fire service, or you guys didn't leave the UK, you don't really understand the details behind it. You don't understand the risk that was taken. You don't understand the lifestyle changes, the kind of fear and the uncomfortableness that happened, okay? And you might be going through something now in your life where you're thinking of leaving your job, or you're thinking of leaving the UK, which has probably prompted you as to why you clicked on this video, which I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to kind of help you guys as best as I can, and as realistic and as authentic as I can, as to what you should experience if you're thinking of leaving your job, if you're thinking of leaving the UK, or if you're just thinking of living a different lifestyle completely, okay? If you are new around here anyway, my name's Cameron, and I used to be a firefighter, as I've just mentioned. The guys that are probably watching this video who have been on my channel for a while, you probably remember the content that I used to make when I was a firefighter, which is ultimately what kick-started my kind of content creation journey slash lifestyle, okay? Because it was when I started making fire service videos, it was when I jumped online and I was kind of talking about the fire service and just sharing my thoughts and trying to help as many people get into the fire service. If you are new around here, that's the kind of content I used to make. It was just content around like how to get in the fire service, a day in the life as a firefighter, just kind of interesting things, which if you're not a firefighter, or you want to become a firefighter, it would be interesting for you to watch, okay? When you work in a job, like me personally, I was 21 years old when I joined the fire service. I was still a boy, like as much as, in fact, when I was doing my tests, when I was doing the test that they send you before you actually start the job, like the interview process and all that kind of stuff, I was 20 years old. So I'd literally not long become an adult, which is quite scary to think and quite kind of important to know, all right? So I was very young going into the job. And I'll be honest, one of the main reasons why I went into that job is because my friends around me were getting jobs. Like my friends were joining the police, my friends were joining office jobs, finance, and they were just getting them kind of secure jobs. Them jobs where like, oh, I want to get a career now, or like, and I felt pressured. Like I did like want to be a firefighter, but it was never a big dream of mine. It was never like something which I wanted to do my whole life. It was literally just a point of like, all right, now I need to get a job. What job would interest me? And I remember sitting down, I remember thinking to myself, like, I don't want to be in an office. I don't want to be just stuck behind a computer all day. I want a practical job. I want a job where I'm using like my kind of fitness, and it's more hands-on, okay? Didn't want to work at a construction site. I was currently working at a construction site before COVID, before I applied to be a firefighter. And I just wanted I felt like I wanted a career, just because of the environment and the pressure that was surrounding me, okay? Just like the reason why I went to do A-levels at college, because all my friends were doing it as well, and I quit after the first day, because when I got there, I thought, nah, this isn't me, man. And that's quite a bold decision to do whilst I was at college. And the same kind of thing happened in the fire service. A lot of people joined because it's their dream, because maybe their parents are a firefighter or someone they know, and a lot of people join the fire service for different reasons, but that's my reason, okay? That's why I joined. I just felt pressured, and I felt like I had to be in a job like that, okay? Now, this is no discredit to the job itself, because when I eventually got into the fire service and I was a firefighter, it was an amazing job. Like, some of the best times I had, like some of the most times I've ever laughed was in the fire service. Like the lads that I worked with, and just some of the people in the organisation. Okay, like it was a good environment to be around at times. All right, and it was challenging, and it was practical, and it was just like, it didn't feel like work. You'll speak to a lot of firefighters and they'll all say it's the best job in the world, because you get a lot of perks and a lot of benefits as being a firefighter. But what I'll talk about later on is to why this may not also be a positive. Maybe this, for me anyway, it turned into a negative, okay? And if you're watching this, you can probably relate to what I'm saying. But the piece of advice I'd give anyone right now, which is just what's crossed my mind, is if you're working a job now and you're not interested and you don't really want to do it for the rest of your life, it's like a leg up, okay? It's kind of just something that you're doing at this moment in your life, or it's something that maybe like me, you got into it and you realize that you didn't necessarily want to do it for your whole life, which is completely fine. But as soon as you can find, use the job to your advantage is what the point I'm trying to get across is. As soon as you can find some time to kind of maybe sit down or just work on something else. I remember times I used to go in the fire station and I'd be editing videos for my own YouTube channel whilst being at work on my downtime, maybe on my lunch break, or maybe when we haven't got much on at the moment, And that's what I do, because I'd make the most of my time, and that's what you should do as well, because you're getting paid to be in these jobs. You're getting paid hourly, so on salary. So whatever you do in that time, it doesn't really your pay isn't going to go up or down. So if you've got spare time, make the most of it, okay? Start thinking about what it is that you want to do. If you've not got anything to work on whilst you're at work, start thinking about what you want to do. Start thinking, you might want to become a content creator, so start looking into that at least. Even if you're not making videos yet, start looking into it. Start thinking about what equipment you should buy, all right? So yeah, besides the point, I'll get back on track. I always lose my focus with these videos, but hopefully you guys are getting some inspiration from it so far and you can see the value in it. Now, I left the fire service and I left the UK. And let's talk about the UK, because the reason, and one of the biggest reasons why I left the UK, is because I just, there was no growth. It was miserable. Currently, I'm in Thailand right now, by the way, guys, and the weather isn't the best. And this is what the UK is like in summer. This is Thailand's off season, and it's still 30 degrees. But in the UK, for me, the weather was grey, the people were grey. And when I say the people were grey, I mean there was no kind of life. There was no real atmosphere. Everyone's just doing the same thing every day. Everyone's going out on the weekends. Everyone's just in this same robotic lifestyle. And you'll go to the UK and people literally look grey. If you're in the UK right now, go into your shop and just look at the skin colour of someone. I bet you, if you look at it differently, they look grey. And what I mean by they look grey is there's no sunlight. Oh, there's a plane coming in right now, so it might be a bit loud. There's no sunlight. There's no vitamins. There's no one's taking care of their health. I reckon 80-90% of the UK are not taking care of their current health. And the reason behind this and the reason for this is because of their environment. It's because of what's around them. It's because of the people they speak to. It's because of the media that they watch when they go home after their shit job that they don't like and they just switch on the news. Everything's just grey. That's the best way I can describe it. And for me, that was not an environment where I wanted to be. I wanted to be somewhere which would give me a better opportunity. I wanted to be somewhere which would make me happier. I wanted to be somewhere around other people that were happier, that were living different lives. And you'll hear this from everyone who's traveled. Now, over the last 2 years, I've traveled a lot. Now, something that you'll hear from a lot of people is everyone seems so much happier when you go abroad. And everyone, different parts of the world, there's a reason why Thailand's called the land of smiles, because everyone's just happy. These people have got half, if not less than half of what you've currently got right now, if you're from the western side of the world. And they're just 10 times happier. And there's a reason for this. It's because of the community. It's because of they're proud to be Thai, they're proud to be from where they live. In the UK, very, very rare is anyone proud. A lot of people are just leaving the UK. A lot of people are getting fed up. If you try and start a business in the UK, it's getting even harder. That's why now I don't pay taxes in the UK. I've set up a company abroad, so I don't contribute to taxes in the UK, because it's just too expensive, and two, there's better options abroad, and there's better ways, and there's better kind of investments you can make in different parts of the world. But you're never going to know this unless you leave the UK. You're never going to know this unless you take risk. Risk is very, very important. Now, when I talk about the fire service, like I mentioned at the start of the video, a lot of people thought this is the riskiest thing ever. I had people even in the fire service that said you do know this is a big risk, or what if this happens, what if that happens, and are you sure you want to do this, what do your parents think about this? And people just thought I was going crazy. Now, I'm not sitting here saying my life's perfect now and everything's just dandelion and kind of roses, you know what I mean? I'm not saying everything is exactly how I want it to be, but I can't remember the last time I set an alarm to wake up for work. I can't remember the last time I felt kind of stressed about going to work, okay? Yes, I feel stressed. Yes, I'm an entrepreneur, so we have our own problems. Entrepreneurship is not easy. That's something else that you need to think about if you want to go down this route. It's not easy. A lot of people don't like the idea of that. But I just have a lot more freedom now. I just wake up and decide what I want to do with my day. If I want to wake up and work all day, then I can do that. If I want to wake up and not work all day and work twice as hard tomorrow or twice as hard next week, I can do that as well. If I want to go to a family meal, if I want to go abroad with my friends, I don't have to worry about booking time off. I don't have to worry about what my boss is going to think or whether I've got to call in sick for work and pretend that I'm ill, and just all these stupid things which to me now are stupid. Like when I speak to my friends, I'm saying to them like, oh, can we, or like, shall we go abroad here? Shall we do this? Shall we do that? And they say, oh, nah, I haven't got the holiday for that, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the time off, or this. And I think to myself, like, that life now for me is so far gone. That life, like, honestly, guys, that life is like, I can't imagine ever living that life again. And that is what drives me more. And that is what, in my head right now, when I say this, is going to make me kind of become successful, because I don't ever want to go back to where I was. I don't ever want to go back to that situation I was in when I was stressing about work, when I was worrying about kind of what other people thought of me, or just, I was a lot less like free. I had a lot less freedom. So I think some piece of advice I'd give anyone out there, if you're kind of in a position how I was, you're probably working a job now and it's not the best, like, don't lie to yourself. It's not the best job in the world. It might not be the worst job in the world as well, but you want a different kind of style of life. You want to just explore. You want to take risks. You want to actually do things that scare you, which I highly, highly recommend. Like, my piece of advice would just be, don't listen to what anybody says around you. If you know in your head and if you know in your heart that that is what you want to do and that is achievable, which it should be achievable, there's no limit on the sky. Like, the sky is literally the limit. You can, well, that didn't make sense. The sky is literally the limit. There is a limit. The sky is the limit. You can do whatever you want to do. Like, nobody should be able to tell you that you can't do this, or you can't start this business, or, oh, that's a stupid idea, or, do you know what I mean? Like, don't kind of get wound up in other people's lives, because the people that are probably telling you this are the people who have probably never done what you want to do. I'm going to repeat that. The people that are telling you to not take the risk, the people that are telling you to not move abroad, the people who are telling you to not quit your job have probably never done what you're trying to do. So why are you taking advice from them, okay? And as soon as that clicked in my head, I started thinking to myself, yeah, you know what? All right, maybe this guy at work is telling me that I shouldn't do this, that. And he might have more experience in life. He might be older than me. He might have went through more life experience. But is he a content creator? Is he someone who, is he a photographer or videographer? Because that's what I was doing. Has he tried what I'm trying to do before? Because if he hasn't, then yes, his advice may be valuable, but it's not the be all or end all. He's not achieved what I want to achieve. So I should just take it with a pinch of salt. Whereas someone, if you're trying to live a lifestyle like me now, and you're trying to quit your job and you're trying to go through them hurdles, I'm much better to speak to and to give you practical advice than somebody who's sitting opposite you at the office, who's probably worked there for 20 or 30 years, okay? There's a lot of like meaning behind that, and there's a lot of value in what I've just said, because a lot of people worry about what other people think of them, even your family. If you're like, I did as well. My mum, she really didn't like me going to the fire service, like didn't like me leaving the fire service. It wasn't in the plans, do you know what I mean? She was always proud to like tell her friends that her son was a firefighter, so she should be. But for me, it's just not what I wanted to do at that point in my life. And now I'm at a position where I earn more money doing what I'm doing now than I ever would in the fire service. So on the other end of it, it's kind of hindsight, and now she's obviously doesn't mention it, or like it's not anything that we talk about. But at the time, it's really scary. But if you believe in yourself and you know that you can do what you want to do, there's no reason why you can't do it. There's no reason why anybody should tell you different. There's no reason why you should stop going after your goals. Like, okay, I'm just gonna end this vlog here, guys. I've got nothing else I really want to say that's on my mind. If you've got any other questions, or you've got anything that you want to ask me, or anything you want to contribute to this video, if you've watched the video and you've left your job, or you've kind of been on a similar journey to me, then please let me know in the comments. I'm all ears. Let somebody else know. Type it in the comments as you might be able to help somebody else who's in a similar position. If you're in a position like this and you are stuck in your job and you kind of relate to me a little bit, then put your question in the comments. Maybe someone will reach out to you, someone will help you, okay? Maybe even me as well. I'm gonna try and do my best to speak to everyone in the comments. So yeah, I'm gonna go and get some lunch now. I need to go and do some shopping as well. Another beautiful day in Thailand, get myself to the gym later. And yeah, just enjoy this, I believe it's Thursday today. I lose track of the days, like that's the kind of point I'm at right now. The days just kind of all merge into one. But yeah guys, if you've enjoyed the video, let me know, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.